Hello Can family, hope everyone is doing good. So this particular video is for all the Can family members who recently received the PNP nomination or who will be receiving the PNP nomination, and they wanted to know that in Ontario, if employer wanted to support you, what they have to do. Right now, what I'm noticing a lot of employers, they are also very new to this employer portal, and lack of awareness is there that what step they have to follow to complete a PNP application. Employer only have 14 days to complete the application, and only after the employer submit the complete file, then only the applicant can able to submit the OINP application, which technically means that employer now plays a very key role in this entire process. So let me start with what is this whole employer portal about, and then I'm gonna show you that what are the steps what employer has to follow if they wanted to complete an application once you receive the invitation. There was a time when there was no employer portal. Employer just have to fill one OINP form. Even sometimes the employer don't even have to know anything, because the signing officer or HR just signed the OINP paper and it can get just submitted. But now we are in 2025, and one of the most significant change which came in Ontario PNP is the employer portal. So what is this employer portal? Employer portal is a platform by which employer have direct connection with the PNP while they're supporting one of the applicant. So this employer portal technically include all the information about the employer, where they're authenticating, authorizing and giving a declaration that all the information they have given and they're creating a job offer is legit and it is as per the regulation of Labor Ministry. So in this process, the first step is the employer has to create a job portal. We are going to do a detailed video on that, which will be coming very soon. But today we are talking about the second part. What is the next step? What employer has to do once the applicant receives the PNP invitation? Because now, after the 2nd of September invitations, I'm receiving a lot of queries from the applicant as well as the employer that they have no idea what to do next. So this particular video explains all about that. Once an applicant receives the PNP invitation, the first step what the applicant has to do is they have to check their email. Please note, if you are going through any legal representative, it is your prime responsibility that you have to keep checking your email. OINP, whenever they are communicating about your application, they will send an email to you personally, and then they are going to CC it to your representative. It is very common that sometimes they only send it to the client, not even to the representative. If you're looking into your personal email, there you should receive a particular email which is saying that OINP has invited to submit an application under this particular stream, which pointed out that technically in which stream and what is the criteria and how many days you have to complete the application. Second thing, once you receive that particular email that shows that you got an invitation successfully, first of all, congratulations, you need to start your application. So from the time you receive the invitation, you have 14 days where your employer has to complete the employer portal part, which I'm going to explain you how they have to do it. And if you're still here, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and do share our channel with those international immigrants or your employer who can see a real value and how the Canadian immigration is easy for them if they have a right guidance. So coming back to our topic, once you see that you got an invitation, you have to reach your employer. Your employer also receive a specific email saying that a particular candidate has received the invitation. Then they have to log in into their OINP Employer Portal. The OINP Employer Portal, which look like this. There they can enter their email ID with a proper login credential, which is similar to the one which they have created before, which will let them to in the OINP portal. This page technically show them that how many number of applicants they have given a job ID, plus how many individuals have received the invitation under particular streams. Once your employer will look into that, okay, which application they are about to support, the employer has to click on the particular tab to see the further details what they have to input to complete this application. Now, once the employer click on this particular point, they will see the entire application which look like this. On the right side of the screen, you can see all the tabs which employer can click, or even the employer can go to at the end and press next to see the next page what they have to clear. There are almost like 13 tabs which the employer has to enter the information and complete. This is basically shows the business legitimacy, how many employees they are working, what are their wages, the particular employee information which they are ready to support, what is the job title, how many hours working, how many weeks in a year the particular applicant work. The most important thing, which is to enter the roles and responsibilities of the particular individual and how this particular individual contribute with the skills in the business. These two things the employer has to explain in proper paragraph so that the OINP officer who is going to evaluate the profile can understand that the job ID which is created with all the information is legit, and yes, the particular applicant who the employer is ready to support do contribute a very important role, and how he can able to contribute towards the Ontario also. Once these informations are entered, you will go to a third last tab on this where it says about the documentation. One most important thing about the documentation tab is that the only mandatory document what the employer has to upload is the signed job offer letter. This is one of the most important piece of document in this entire application. 2 points which I would like to point out here. One, the job offer letter which you are submitting, that has to be having the signature of both your employee and the employer. Please note, if even one of the signature is missing, technically your application can be written incomplete. Second important point is the job offer supposed to be signed within 6 months. So most of the people who might be working for last 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, they say that how can I get a new job offer? But yes, this is one of the requirement that even you can keep the same job offer letter which you have received before, but the signing date and the date at the top has to be within 6 months. You can request your employer just to change the date and put a new signature where you and your employer can put it, and that would be a new job offer where it says that yes, you might have started early, but still it is giving you offer for an unlimited period, and yes, your title is still full-time permanent position. For example, if your employer say that no, it is as per their policy, they cannot issue you a new job offer letter, then the solution is very clear. With a job offer which you have received before, try to put a new experience letter where once again your name, your designation, full-time permanent, your duties, your wage, everything has to be mentioned, and in that particular reference letter try to get signature of your employer, which usually come, but you can also sign that and you can attach with the previous offer letter. In this way, this application will be legit and you can use this to upload in a job offer tab. Please note, you can also see a lot of other document tab too, but it is not mandatory. Still, if your employer wanted to put a little bit more efforts, they can always upload one of the reference letter or experience letter in the subsequent tab. But other than that, there is no document which is mandatory by the employer until and unless it is something which is employer is supporting for the LMI or some other process, then definitely you can see that as per the requirement. Once the information is entered, second, once the documentation is uploaded, now the employer can go to the next tab, and the last tab would be giving the declaration. Once the employer gave a declaration, technically this whole application is completed, where automatically you, your representative, and also the employer will receive an email saying that employer part is completed. Now the employee or the client can able to complete their OINP application, and through which they can able to proceed to a PNP application. Again, always remember, only 14 days the employer have, so it has to be complete before that. If your employer is about to go for a vacation, after 14 days, if they have not completed the application, automatically the application will be ineligible and be withdrawn. We are going to do a detailed video on the employee client portal also, which will explain how they have to complete their application by themselves. Trust me, Canadian immigration is simple. The one thing which you need is the right information from the right source, and I hope you have got that today. With more informative videos like this, we will be coming soon. Our 2 videos will be upcoming. One, how to create an employer portal first time for the new employers, and second, how an international student can complete the whole application by themselves after getting the invitation. To watch this video, do not forget to subscribe and follow our channel, and if you're watching this on YouTube, do press the bell icon so that whenever we post any informative video about the Canadian immigration, you would be the first person to get the notification. If you have any more concerns or queries, feel free to drop down a comment. We are there with you to assist in the Canadian immigration. With that hope, see you in the next video. Take care. Have a great day.